What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another TMNT Mutant Madness video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content. Ninja kick that like button. Today we are going to look at all of the new equipment skills for every single character. So open some popcorn, kick back, relax. Leave your comments down below about which skills you like and you think are the best. So with that, let's go get into it. Okay, so we're going to be running through my roster based on its power level, I guess, star level, power level. So no specific organization other than what's simplest. And we're going to be looking at the equipment skills at 3 stars because I have tons of blue gear. So if you don't have all blue gear, you will see it's a little bit smaller. So for instance, with Shredder, gain 30 armor. All enemies at range 1 get -9 will. You can see the next rarity at 4 star. It's 40 armor and 12 will. So that goes standard to reason that a 2 star would be 20 armor and 6 will. And it would be 10 armor and 3 will for 1 star rarity. So I'm not going to be breaking down the other rarities on the rest of them, but this is the first one, so you guys can basically figure out what the other rarities are. And then a 5 star rarity based on this trend would mean 50 armor and 15 will. So pretty cool. Gives him some survivability and reduces the skills that the enemies do. So that's Shredder's helmet. Donatello's bow staff, so we're going to equip all. And we have, after being attacked, he gains armor for 5 seconds if not disarmed or stunned. So 6 armor is not amazing, and 5 seconds is okay in length, but there is the condition of not disarmed or stunned. So not a huge fan of the bow staff, but not horrible. Not horrible. Okay, Tokka's skull belt, gain 15 armor per enemy at range 1. Whenever an enemy is knocked out, gain 15 strength for 30 seconds. So this is pretty cool. Tokka has some decent strength, and so he can start doing some quite decent damage later on, especially since he has some really good survivability. I kind of like this one. This is cool. April, after using the skill, inflict negative defense to all enemies, and that defense just scales with the higher star rating, and of course the more dimension levels that you have on her, and increasing her power is going to make that bonkers good. In Channel 6, the opposing April was stripping almost 10,000 defense, basically deleting all the defense on my team. It was insane, nasty, so I had to target her first to get past it. So April is definitely going to stay meta with this. Had to talk about that. It's just really, really good. Really, really good. Splinter gains 30 strength and 30% resistance to stun. So the 30% resistance to stun is pretty awesome. And that can go all the way up to 50% if and when we can get full 5 star gear on him, which I think is going to be really, really nice. And increasing his strength is just a little extra bonus there. So Leonardo gains 60 haste and 15 health. Of course, this is scaling with the rarity. I think this is really good. Leonardo's already pretty decent brawler support. This just makes him as an individual character more viable. So Casey Jones gets 30 armor and he gains 60 strength if he's under 60% health. So as the match progresses, he now gets the ability to kind of have a comeback that gains 60 strength after he's lost some health. It's pretty nice, and the 30 extra armor gives him some more survivability, which I really like because he hurts his own alertness, which was something I don't like about him. Lotus's guard sword. She gains 45% resistance to silence. Now silence isn't too common, so that's just meh. Gaining 45 strength and armor while not stunned, rooted, or slowed. Now that's really cool. So extra survivability, extra damage output, but overall just okay. Attila gains 30 strength and armor while not disarmed. all enemies under 10 armor get negative 30 alertness. This is awesome. As long as the enemies are under 10 armor, they are also not going to be gaining a whole lot of defense. That is really good. So this flail is taking advantage of both his brawler and his support roles. Of course, the caveat, while not disarmed, plenty of characters disarm, and I feel like disarm is a very, very useful skill. So that is going to hurt him specifically, but overall, very, very good skill. Dregg gains 45 barrier, so tons of resistance to energy damage there, which is great. And at the start of combat, he gains 15 will for 6 seconds. So 15 will for 6 seconds at the start of combat is okay. It's great because he'll start getting some of his skills off sooner, which is really, really nice, but it doesn't last very long, 6 seconds. But it could mean the difference between a good start and a great start. So Metalhead's Brainalyzer. Gain +3 strength and focus per other hero at or above 30 alertness. Do the same for focus and will. Now when it says per other hero, this is allies and enemies. So the potential with 9 other enemies on the board, he could be getting +27 strength and +27 focus. It's interesting that it says strength and focus, and it says do the same for focus and will. So what it means, I think what it means is he gets +3 strength and focus per other hero at 30 alertness, at 30 focus, and at 30 will. So, I mean, you could be getting 27 times 3, which is 81, potentially 81 strength and focus at levels 3. I mean, this is pretty cool. This is pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. Renet gains 60 armor and barrier while under 50% health. After attacking, all allies gain 3 haste for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a pretty nice amount of time, and she has some haste manipulation, so she can start attacking really quickly, and all allies includes herself, so she's going to start stacking a lot more haste. We can see Renet becoming a lot more viable, plus she gets the extra survivability when she gets under 50% health, so then keeping her on the board longer, getting more haste, potentially turning things around with this time scepter. Pretty interesting. I'd like to see how it plays out. Ace Duck gains 45 armor and barrier while defense is above 0, which should be most of the time, but there's a lot more defense stripping happening now. And at the start of combat, he gains 45 focus for 8 seconds. So similar to the Dregg getting it for 6 seconds, will for 6 seconds at the beginning of combat. That's great, but 8 seconds is going to be over pretty soon. Battles do last longer than that, so hopefully getting a lot more damage out sooner than later. But of course his damage scales with his alertness, and there's no alertness bonuses here, so not really a fan of Ace Duck's skill. Michelangelo, after attacking, gained 4 armor and strength for 3 seconds. This is so sad. For 3 seconds, that's it. He gains armor and strength, so he can stack a little bit, but for 3 seconds, that's it. Michelangelo is already trash. This does not. Why? It should be like for 10 seconds. Let's make Michelangelo good again. Come on. Oh, I'm not a fan of this. I'm really disappointed. So Baxter gains 45 focus. That could translate to a lot of damage, and at the start of combat inflicts disarm and root for 2 seconds to the closest enemy. So this could really, where you position him is going to be important if you decide to use Baxter, to make sure that you disarm and root the correct enemy for the first 2 seconds of battle. But 2 seconds isn't a lot, but it could help you get that fast start. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be, but you know, interesting. Definitely interesting stuff. Alright, and Gengis gains 60 strength while not disarmed. All allies at range 1 gain 15 armor. So the fact that everybody at range 1 around him gets armor is nice. Of course, the strength while not disarmed, the caveat there, but and there's a lot of disarmed. Shredder has disarm. There's a bunch of others out there. So okay, it's okay, but I don't think it makes Gengis move up in the meta at all. With Mondo Gecko, after using a skill, gain 45 armor, barrier, and strength, and haste for 2 seconds if not rooted or slowed. Now, 45 armor, barrier, strength, and haste is great. It only lasts 2 seconds, so that's kind of annoying. And then he also doesn't get it if he's rooted or slowed, which, of course, isn't super common, but it would just be nice if he always got it, like, regardless. Because, I mean, then he might be, like, extremely good, and they're trying to, like, balance him, but, like, Mondo Gecko is such a cool character, and I would just like to see this be more than what it is. Bebop Shades, he gains 30 focus and 30% resistance to stun and silence. Pretty cool. Flat happens all the time. He does blaster damage with his ult. It's pretty decent AoE, so pretty cool if you're using Bebop. Of course, he's not one of the greatest characters, but definitely a nice buff for him. Leatherhead's Leather Hat gains 9 alertness per enemy at range 1. All enemies at range 1 get negative 30 armor. So this is really cool. It plays into his Trickster tank stuff, gaining the extra alertness so he can gain more defense, and then reducing the armor, making it to where him and his teammates can really hammer the people that he's up against. This could make Leatherhead a little more viable. He was great early on, but, you know, meta creep, you know, changes and whatnot. Samurai Leo's Samurai Katana doesn't really sound like something a katana would do. After being stunned or rooted, gain defense and 45 armor and strength for 8 seconds. So 8 seconds is a decent amount of time. It's conditional on him being stunned or rooted, and a lot of stuns and roots last for such a long time that the strength may not do much if he can't attack. I mean, it's not disarm, so he can still attack while stunned or rooted. Well, he can't not stun, but when he's rooted. So I see this being okay. It really plays into his tank role. I just don't know if it's enough. You know, let me know what you guys think, of course. Keep moving on. We got Mona Lisa, which at first read of Mona Lisa's, I thought meh, but I'm thinking it's actually pretty good. All allies at range 2 get plus 18 strength and focus. All allies at range 2 who are stunned, rooted, or slowed, or who are taking damage over time, get 18 alertness. So she's always giving out strength and focus to everyone, and then if they get any of these status effects, they get some alertness bonus so they can get some more defense to survive this stun, root, slow, which is pretty cool. So maybe she stays in the A tier. Maybe she doesn't drop to the B tier. I know she was great for the event, but I haven't seen a lot of people saying, yes, she's so amazing, keep using her. I mean, she's good, but okay. Hoverboard from Zach gains 60 haste and 12 alertness if not stunned, rooted, or slowed. This is great. It's conditional, but it's basically all the time. Extra haste, extra alertness. Pretty cool for Zach. Tempestra's Revenge. After being attacked, inflict energy damage to the attacker. This is awesome. Bounce back damage. Super cool. And inflict stun for 1 second if under 40% health. So, and it goes up to 50% with 4 stars, so likely 60% for 5 star when we finally start seeing that kind of gear. My goodness, being able to inflict stun just from someone attacking her, I could see Tempestra becoming quite an annoying character to go against. I just don't know how effective it is, but this reads really cool. Okay, Rahzar gain 12 armor and strength per ally at range 2, which is going to be most allies most of the time. So, I mean, we're looking at plus 48 armor and strength almost all the time. That's decent. He's a brawler support, really leaning into that brawler role. We'd like to see Rahzar better, but, you know, I don't know if it's enough. Okay, so with Traag's helmet, the start of combat, give defense and 30 armor for 6 seconds to all allies at range 1, which means if you're going to continue using Traag, he's still a decent character. I use him on my ult. He must be positioned in the middle to make the most out of this skill. So he gives everybody around him these bonuses, right? And I would imagine that he includes himself in this. We'll have to do some testing to see, but not bad, but 6 seconds at the beginning of battle isn't a long time. But it's nice to protect yourself, you get some protection at the beginning of the battle. Okay, with Rat King, a rat, his weapon is a rat. Rat swarms gain 45 armor and haste. Gain 30 haste per allied summon. This is insane. Extra armor and haste for the rats is great. They're going to have more survivability, and he gains haste per allied summon. And if you guys aren't clear with haste, the more basic attacks you're doing, you're able to charge your ult meter so he can start summoning more rats. So this is going to be exponential. And it says per allied summon, which means it's going to also count for Donatello's turrets, which we're going to get into Techno Don here soon. Techno Don and Rat King I see working really, really well together with these new skills. Pretty amazing. Okay, Snow Mikey, after using a skill with a Snow Slicer, gains 2 strength for 30 seconds and inflict -2 alertness for 30 seconds to all enemies. Snow Mikey, 30 seconds after using a skill. And it's not basic attack, but like Snow Mikey might actually be pretty good now, especially if you can pair him up with people to give him will, so he's using his skills very quickly and more often. And stacking this, you're going to reduce the ability for the enemy to have any defense, and he's just going to get stronger and stronger. That 30 seconds is going to last quite sometimes, most of the battle. So basically, the more skills you can get him to use, the stronger he's going to get. Will it be enough to make Snow Mikey good? I don't know, but why couldn't they have done something better like this for regular Michelangelo? That's my kind of like gripe, like, oh man, leaving Michelangelo behind in the dust. Snow Mikey though, some potential there. Now Krang, this is great. 45 armor, 30% resistance to disarm. Flat, no conditions, always there. And his damage scales based on his armor, which means this armor bonus also increases his damage output. Kudos to this one. Android body for Krang, excellent. Excellent. Okay, for Zorax. Zorax gains 12 haste and strength per enemy at range 1. Flat out, he's always going to have at least one person next to him, so he's going to get some extra damage and be able to attack quicker. And if there's a bunch of people around him, he's going to attack even faster, do more damage. I think this is great for Zorax. We could see him come back into the meta. I don't know if he's going to be S tier again because of this, but definitely a great bonus for him. Frosty's Ice Box at the start of combat, gain defense, gain 15 armor and focus per 20% health up to 80%. Now, there's no time limit on this, so this is great. Of course, that defense will go away eventually, but he's starting with a huge amount of defense, and then he gains armor and focus per 20% health up to 80%. So at the start of battle, 20 to up to 80, that's at 4, so he's going to gain 60 armor and focus. And then as the battle goes on and he starts losing health, he's going to lose armor and lose focus. So he's going to become less and less impressive as the match continues. But early on, he is nasty. It looks pretty good for Frosty. Karai, after attacking, gain +2 strength for 20 seconds. Inflict -12 armor for 20 seconds to targets above 10 armor. This sounds debilitating. After attacking basic attacks, she's going to stack 2 strength for 20 seconds. Michelangelo got 3 seconds. She gets 20. My god, Karai. And then -12 armor for 20 seconds to targets above 10 armor. So whoever she's attacking basic attack, like if they have armor, she's just going to melt that armor away until they don't have any armor anymore and just destroy them. This could be completely game-changing for Karai. I can't wait for somebody to do some testing and tell me what it's like. I'm going to see what I can do with it, but wow, I like that skill. Okay, Muckman, he's equipped because I've been using him in mutation. Gain 30 armor, all enemies taking damage over time get -30 armor and strength. So great for this damage over time build that we're experiencing right now. He's definitely, I think, because I only have a 3-star Antrax, the best one for me to be using in this week. But yeah, not bad at all. Like Muckman's looking pretty good. Actually, let's keep that equipped because I'm using him. Ninja Splinter's Ninja Bow, he gains 45% resistance to silence and slow. At the start of combat, all allies, gain 15 strength for 10 seconds. So extra damage output at the beginning for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a decent amount of time for the start of battle, as opposed to like 6, right? It's from other heroes. And the 45 resistance to silence and slow is nice. I mean, Ninja Splinter seems to like be all about movement speed. He can run across the battlefield pretty quickly, get to where he needs to go. And so being able to resist that silence as well, so he's always going to be getting his skills off, and then helping everybody get some strength that falls into his support. Pretty cool. Okay, Savanti Romero's Time Scepter gains 60 armor and barrier while under 50% health. After attacking, all allies gain 3 haste for 10 seconds. So this is interesting because he doesn't get the extra survivability until he's half dead, but that could help him hold on. And then after attacking, all allies gain that 3 haste for 10 seconds, and that includes himself. So we really want to see him be able to do as much basic attacks to stack this haste for everyone as fast as possible. Savanti and Renet might actually be able to start working together, even though they're kind of enemies in the story. I think their kits really lend a hand to each other. Once again, is it enough? I've pulled Savanti off my team for this mutation week because he just wasn't cutting it, even with those in there. That's just me. Okay, so here's Techno Don with the Tesla Staff. So when an allied summoned is attacked, gain 6 focus and give all turrets plus 6 focus for 5 seconds. Allied summon. So this ties back into the Rat King thing, where Rat King can have 6 rats on the board, and they have better survivability now. And whenever an allied summon is attacked, which includes the rats, he's going to gain focus, which is more damage, and he's going to give his turrets more focus. It's for 5 seconds, but if there's a bunch of them on the board, like that focus is going to stack. There's going to be a decent amount of damage coming out. I really can't wait to see what we can do with Techno Don and Rat King together. When we had that anniversary event, if we had these skills, oh my gosh, the scores would have been over 1 million. It's just insane. Okay, Raphael, after being attacked, gain 5 strength for 5 seconds if not disarmed. Only 5 seconds, and only if you're not disarmed. Just give him the strength. Raphael's a brawler. Boy, he can take a beating, but he does not do crap for damage. Once again, disappointed. What they did to Michelangelo and Raphael, it's just like, these are the turtles. They should be amazing, and these two just aren't. Rocksteady's pulverizing pistol sounds pretty cool. After attacking, gain 3 focus for 10 seconds and inflict -6 strength for 10 seconds. So his basic attacks are going to make him stronger and then reduce the strength of the enemy. So it can be very effective against like brawler type heroes, anyone that does physical damage. Pretty interesting. 10 seconds is a decent amount of time. If we can get some haste in there, triggering more than once a second, stack pretty good amount of focus there. Slashes also reads pretty cool. These hand blades gain 30 armor flat, and then after being attacked, gain 15 haste for 4 seconds. So as soon as he starts getting in the battle, he's going to get attacked. He's going to start attacking faster, which is pretty nice. And he's going to be able to hopefully shred the enemy down while surviving a bit longer. You need to put him into testing, but new players who get Slash with they get the 3-star drive Slash early on. I always said he's middle of the road. He's worth taking as your first 3-star hero until you start popping drives, because those drives are going to come pretty easily, and you don't have to gamble. You can know you have a decent hero right off the bat for your first 3-star with the Slash drive. Okay, Super Irma's got a pretty cool one. Gain armor, focus, and will flat all the time. She just make her better survival, better damage, using her skills more often. Yes, please. My goodness. It's very simple. It goes right into what the character should be doing and doing more damage. Ray has a pretty cool one too. After attacking, give defense to all allies at range 2. That's going to be most allies. And all allies at range 2 gain 15 strength. So after attacking, he's going to give defense out, keeping the defense on the teammates, which is great after every basic attack. And then all allies are at range 2, gain 15 strength. That's like flat all the time. If you're within range 2 of Ray, you're doing more damage. I see him lending himself to a haste team, a team where there's a lot of haste going on. So, you know, maybe he's your main tank for Savanti and Renet and maybe Leonardo and, you know, April. Everybody uses April all the time. She's still meta. My goodness. So Antrax, you know, I pulled him because I only have him 3 stars. His skill's okay. He gains 30 armor and strength flat all the time. He gains 9 extra armor and strength per enemy under 66 health at range 2. So this conditional here, it's like if you can do like an even amount of damage to all the enemies so that they're all 5 of them are still up and they have less than 66 health, this might feel pretty good. But being that a lot of the times the way, you know, especially if you're playing manual, you're trying to eliminate people one by one. This extra armor and strength is not that great, but the flat armor strength, decent, but not impressive by any means. Okay, Chrome Dome's sword gain 0.3 strength and focus per armor while not disarmed. So stacking armor on Chrome Dome, he gets a bunch out of his kit already, but if you can partner him with other characters that give him armor, he's just going to get more damage output from that as long as he's not disarmed. So disarming Chrome Dome will kind of help mitigate this. But this is flat all the time. Whatever his armor is, he gets a multiplier to make him do more damage. Okay, Granitor, gain 45 focus after using a skill, gain 60 armor for 4 seconds. Not bad. More damage, more survivability. He's a tank blaster. It falls right in the line with his character. Does it make him amazing? Meh. I mean, does it make him better? Yeah. All these skills make the characters better, but by how much? Okay, Napoleon's Bullfrog Whip. Gain 60 haste. So he gets a flat haste, 20 per star. So 3 stars, 60 haste. At the start of combat, inflict stun for 2 seconds to the closest enemy. The enemy starts stunned. Like, if you position things correctly, you could potentially wipe someone out before they even get a chance to do anything. At least one enemy. Sounds pretty crazy, and that extra haste is just going to be great for his kit. I like the way it reads. Not sure how effective it's going to be, but looking at Rockin Raph's Electric Sitar. Whenever an enemy at range 2 uses a skill, inflict 66 damage to them over 2 seconds and gain 15 strength for 2 seconds. This is cool because he's inflicting damage over time. It's only 2 seconds, but it will help trigger other damage over time effects. And then he gains the strength for those 2 seconds to increase his damage output. And it's whenever any enemy at range 2. So this could stack his strength quite a bit if, you know, range 2 is a decent amount. It's everybody next to him and beyond 1 tile. So it'd be interesting to see what this works. I haven't used Rockin Raph really at all yet because I still only have him 3 stars, etc. So I'd love to see what people have to say about that. Okay, the last character that I have, we're going to go to some screenshots here in a second, is Skarg. And Skarg is only 2 star because I bought him like on my first day in the game, and he was bugged, and he's been trash. At the start of combat, inflict negative 30 will for 5 seconds and silence for 3 seconds to the closest enemy. That's it. It only triggers 5 seconds and 3 seconds at the beginning of the battle. That is absolute trash. After 5 seconds of battle, his equipment skill is useless. Skarg is trash. Alright, so that's all the characters I have. I got some screenshots. Hang tight. Okay, thanks to my clanmates for sending me some screenshots. We got Fugitoid's Sal Core. At the start of combat, gain defense. All allies at range 2 get plus 30 haste and 15 focus. And that haste focuses all the time. So he's going to start off with some extra survivability, and then giving that haste and focus is going to be really, really nice. So he could work really good with Renet and Savanti with some of that haste stuff I was talking about. Pretty cool. Okay, next up we got Dirk Savage. His laser shotgun gain 30 focus. All stunned, rooted, or slowed enemies get negative 30 armor and barrier. So he's got a lot of that stun, root, slow in his kit. So really just like building on that while giving him some more damage output. Pretty cool. Dirk Savage could be a sleeper. He could be an amazing character. We just don't know yet. Not a lot of people have used him yet. Dementor with his Thermo Liquefier. When attacking, inflict -9 armor and barrier for 20 seconds. So I assume to the target he's attacking. That could stack pretty nasty. That sounds debilitating. Just taking away any sort of defensive abilities they have. Just like melting their defense, that armor and that barrier. Ugh. Wow. And Rasputin's Trick Bow at the start of combat gained 45 strength and focus and 90 haste for 5 seconds. So Rasputin already has this like beginning of combat stuff in his main kit for 5 seconds. You know, so he gets some fast damage out, but then he's just kind of like a paperweight. You know, I'm not a huge fan of these starting at the combat if they don't last for a decent amount of time. So that's all the characters that we've have gone over, all the skills. Let me know what you guys think. What are the best skills from the equipment from the new update? Which characters are you using? Which skills are you most excited about? Which skills do you think are absolute trash and you feel like they did not put enough time and energy into that? So it's been a really long video. I'm sorry about that, but there was a lot to go over. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Don't forget to ninja kick the like button. Subscribe for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. We'll see you in the next video.